Fola Daniel. It's a pleasure for me to meet you. What class is this? Or can you tell me how many classes combined? SS1, JS1 to SS2. Okay. Okay. So today, one of the reasons I took interest in talking to young people is to sometimes help you understand that it's important to have a clear vision and goal in life. And sometimes some of you think that you are still too young to have those clear visions and goals, but you are never too young to have clear visions and goals in life. No matter how young you think you are, it's always good to start early than to think, oh, I'm still too young to start. So today I'm going to be talking to you about goals and wishes, knowing the difference. Please say again, goals and wishes.
Goals and wishes.
Knowing the difference.
Knowing the difference.
Goals and wishes.
Goals and wishes.
Knowing the difference.
Knowing the difference.
There's a popular saying around here, and it's possible you've heard about it. They say, if wishes were horses, beggars would ride. Have you heard it before?
Yes.
Okay, some of you have heard, some of you have not heard it before. Now, the reason they say that if wishes were horses, beggars would ride is that if anybody can dream, anybody can imagine, anybody can create wishes. And, I can just close my eyes right now and imagine that I'm in London. I can just close my eyes right now and imagine that maybe I'm in America, or close my eyes and imagine that I'm in Amsterdam, I'm in France, I'm in anywhere in Europe or any other place in Africa, say Seychelles, or in Bahamas, or in Haiti, or in Jamaica. All I have to do is to do what? Close my eyes. But in order to get to those places, what do I have to do? First of all, get a passport, go to their embassy, apply, and if I qualify, they stamp it, then I must have the money to pay for the flight tickets and get on the plane and go there. Is that not correct? It's the same thing with success in life. If you have goals or wishes, you must determine which one is a goal, which one is a wish. And people don't succeed just because they wish to succeed. After wishing to succeed, you must then decide that I must create goals that will help me to succeed. And trust me, as young as you are, you can actually create the kind of goals that can help you to succeed. But let me also try to deal with wishes. Some of you want to succeed, but the way you're going about it right now is merely a wish. Oh, I wish I would just pass my exam. I wish I would just succeed. I wish I would just become big. You don't just wish to become big. After wishing to become big, after wishing to become successful, what exactly are you now going to be doing on a daily basis? Let's even start from small places like passing your exams. Do you wish to pass your exam, or do you study to pass your exam? Which one do you do? So if you wish to pass your exam and you don't study, will you be able to pass the exam? So it tells you that after wishing, the wish is good. The wish is the first phase, is the first level. That's where you start from. But after wishing to pass your exam, the next thing you then do is to begin to study to pass that exam. Because if all you do is to wish, you will never pass that exam. So you must do more than wishing to pass the exam to studying hard for the exam. And sometimes for some of you, when we just say you study, it's difficult, right? Yeah. Some people think, I don't even know what they're talking about when they say study. I don't even understand what they mean by studying. So it's important for you to break down what it means to study. When we say study, we're not just talking about reading through your books, reading through your textbooks, reading through the exam books and everything like that. When we say studying, we're saying that, okay, what are they saying here? You read something, you ask questions, you are sure you understand it, and you also look at examples, or even read with other people. Let them ask questions, you also ask them questions, and at the end of the day you realize that there's a difference between just reading through and actually studying it. When we say studying, anybody who spends quality time with whatever it is that they are looking into will definitely come out better. And I can tell you, no matter what you're studying right now, you can succeed at it. How do I know I can succeed at it? Of course, there was a time I was a secondary school student. I hope you know we all passed through this phase, right?
Yeah.
Now, guess what? I like to tell a bit of my story when I was in secondary school. When I got into school, I'd say to people in GS1, in GS2, my scores were not so good. In fact, it's not that they were not so good, they were actually terrible. I was just managing to pass. My JS1, we used to have what they call pepper field, meaning that most of the scores were really bad. So JS1, it was not a good score for me. JS2 was not a good score for me. But now I got into JS3 and I realized that in JS3, we're going to do international, or we're going to do national exam, what they call junior, I've forgotten what you call it now. Beckett, that's what you call it now. But in our days, we used to call it junior WAEC. So we'll do, I realized, oh, wait a minute. Now it's going to be junior WAEC. What do I do? Because I can't afford to fail it. Even though in those days, they really tell us, well, nobody fails and all of that. But after a while, they started threatening us that, look, they've been telling you. Okay. So what they did for us was that instead of telling us, oh, just study and things like that, they threatened us. And as a result of that, one of the things I did was I got a friend of mine who was really good. And I knew that academically he was sound. So I started sitting with that friend of mine. And as I was sitting with that friend of mine, it became easier. We would study together. I wanted to understand what he was studying or how he was studying. And he helped me because I was studying with another friend who would help me. And that was how I was able to pass the junior WAEC, as we called it in our days. And I got into SS1. But then when I got into SS1, instead of sustaining what helped me to get into SS1, I didn't sustain it. And because I didn't sustain it, that's how they said, okay, so since JS1, 2, and 3, we've been allowing what they call let my people go. But this time around, we will not let you go. You have to stay back and repeat. So I repeated the class. Now, when I repeated the class, that's when somebody said my hair correct. And then I got back, sat down, and started doing some things differently. And as I was doing those things differently, then my grades picked up. So it tells you that if you don't study, what did I do to pass the other exam? I studied. I got a friend. Now, why didn't I continue that? Or what happened when I didn't continue that? I had to repeat the class. It tells you that, wait, let me even ask you, is there anybody who wishes to repeat a class? No. But is it everybody that always pass a particular class? So if you only wish and you don't work towards it, what happens to you at the end of the day? You'd have to fail. Even if you go to some schools and maybe they don't allow you repeat, you go JS1, JS2, JS3, you're always passing, or they find a way to pass you. By the time you get to WAEC, WAEC does not recognize your face. Whatever you write will determine what you come out with in WAEC. It will determine whether you pass or you fail. So at that point in time, you must be ready. You wish to go to the university and some of your parents have the money to send you to the university, but even if they have the money to send you to the university, you must still pass to be able to get in. Is that also? Yeah. So if you don't pass, how did they get you into that university? So it tells you that you must begin to study from now. You must begin to prepare yourself from now. Don't wait till you get to SS3. Don't wait till you get to where? Don't wait till you get to SS3. Because for some of you, it might be too late and there will be too much to read. You won't have all the time in the world to read it. Just start doing it now. And even when you start now, of course, I'm sure you still have past questions, right? You still have a lot of that you can work with. See, you need to understand that the more you work on your goals, the easier it is for you to achieve success. Say with me, the more you work on your goals, the easier it is to succeed. Say it loudly. The more you work on your goals, the easier it is to succeed. So if you don't work on those goals and you're just hoping, I've just decided that I'm going to succeed, it doesn't just happen by a decision. After that decision to succeed, what action are you taking? After that decision to succeed, what are you doing on a daily basis? How much time do you spend reading? When you come to class, how well do you listen to your teacher? After the class, what do you do? Do you revise? Do you study? If you don't do all of that, then forget it. If you understand that, look, I really want to succeed in life, then you must begin to do something. And even as young as you are, you can also, I think that some of you can begin to learn some skills. So if you don't begin to work on learning some skills right now, then you would see that, hey, look, these things that you think you can get, you won't be able to get them at the end of the day. So in addition to your education, in addition to the things that you have, begin to work on acquiring some skills. These things will help you in life. For some of you, it could be maybe knitting, sewing. For some of you, whatever it is, just start learning. If you have computers, your parents have computers, maybe even a smartphone, a tablet, start learning certain things gradually. And the advantage that you have right now is that even on your phone, there are so many things that you can learn from a phone. There are so many websites that you can learn from. There's YouTube that you can learn from. There are so many things that are appropriate for your age group or for your age brackets. So you can learn from there as well. So don't take your parents' phone and all you're watching is cartoon, all you're watching is comedy. Don't take your parents' phone and the only thing you watch is TikTok. Don't just get your parents' phone and the only thing you watch on their phone is just, you know, all the comedians. You're just watching all the comedians. You're watching all the people that will make you laugh. And after that, you just return their phone to them when you have exhausted their battery or when you've run down their data. You can go to YouTube, learn how to be a better person. Some of you can start learning how to cook if you haven't started already. And the cooking thing is something that people are making a business out of. Some people now, that's all they do. That's the business they do. They'll get their education, but get out of school, and all they're doing is cooking for other people, making good money out of it. So whatever you do, bear in mind that goals are different from what? Wishes. So let's try and give it just a little definition, because I know at your level definitions count, they are very important and all of that. Wishes are simply what you would like to have. Say that after me. Wishes are simply what you would like to have. Wishes are something you'd simply like to have. That's where it stops. Something you simply like to have. But goal, say with me, goal is an action plan for getting things done. Goal is an action plan for getting things done. So if you really want to get something done, you don't just wish for it, you create an action plan. Wishes are things like you simply like to have. Wishes are simply things you would like to have. But goal is an action plan for getting things done. A goal is an action plan for getting things done. So when we say a goal is an action plan for getting things done, it then means that whatever it is that you want to achieve, whatever it is that you want to do, you have to decide, what is my action plan for getting this thing done? You want to make all A's in WAEC? What is my action plan? Study for 3 hours on a daily basis, study for 4 hours, study for 2 hours, or study for 5 hours. What is my action plan to pass my exam? You want to be successful in life? The first phase, because you're still students right now, the first phase is getting your academics right, succeeding here. And guess what? It's better for you to pass your WAEC at a single sitting than passing out and looking for ways to succeed later, or looking for ways to patch up results. And right now, you don't have any other business. You don't pay bills. Do you pay bills? Do you pay house rent? Do you pay your school fees by yourself? Everything is done for you. So you have that focus. You can focus on just reading and passing your exam. There's no other thing that should be more important than that. And you're too young for boyfriend and girlfriend. Because I know, of course, you're at an age where you begin to pay attention to yourself. You begin to see changes in your body. You notice that you're growing bigger, and all of a sudden, somebody starts to pay attention to you. This is not the time for that. This is not the time for what? This is not the time for that. As a guy, if you get somebody pregnant right now, do you have money to take care of the person? Do you have money for house rent? You have money for school fees? You have money for pampers? As a lady, you know that, of course, the first thing that happens is that you have to forget school for the first 1 year. If you have good parents, of course, the best thing that will happen is that they will collect the child from you and send you back to school. But it will set you back at least by 1 year. That's if you bounce back. But do you want that kind of delay? And guess what? After a while, if your parents don't have a lot, they will remind you, wait, I can't be training mother and still be training child. How can a child that I'm training be giving birth to another child to be trained? So this is not the time for that. Focus on what's more important to you, which is what? Your academics. And if you pay attention to that right now, you realize that it's easier for you. What did I say a goal is?
A goal is an action plan for getting it done.
So that's what you should be your focus right now. And some of you, by the time you get back home, if you have a room to yourself, if you live in a room by yourself, or even if you don't live in a room by yourself, maybe you have like a board. I don't know if you do technical drawing and stuff like that, and some of you have boards. Or maybe you have a notebook. You can create a journal. If you have a diary, you can write something there. My goal is to write out your goal. My goal is to succeed, and to succeed, this is what I have to do. Maybe I'm going to be reading 3 hours every day. Create a schedule for yourself. Create a timetable for yourself. And some of you need to discuss with your parents. Oh, please, daddy, mommy, between this time and this time, I want to be studying on a daily basis. And if you are serious about it and they see you are serious about it, they will try not to disturb you in that period. Or you get back home early before they return from work. Read for the first 2 hours. Not that, oh, daddy is not at home. Let me quickly go and play ball. Or daddy is not at home. You got home, daddy is not at home. Pram, you remove your bag, throw it on the floor. Ah, Jessica, how far? You there house? Just go to Jessica's house. You go and play. Then you see, oh, 10 minutes to 5. Mommy will soon be at home. Daddy will soon be at home. Then you rush back home. But now that you have that opportunity, now that you have that time for yourself, work with that plan to study hard. Whoever studies hard, it is difficult for them to fail, because you would have covered everything that you're supposed to be covering. But much more than that, all of you, listen, there is no one of you that cannot succeed. All of you can succeed. Remember, I told you that I started as somebody who didn't pass most of my exams, right? And then all of a sudden, something changed when I got into the senior class after I first repeated the class. Why did that change? Is because I realized, wait a minute, I can't continue like this. And these people that are succeeding, they don't have 2 heads, they don't have 3 heads. They can all, if they can succeed, I can succeed. Now say to yourself, if somebody else can succeed, I can do it too. They don't get 2 heads. It's just 1 head that you all need to succeed. And every one of you here has a 1 head, at least 1 head. Is there anyone here who does not have a head? Eh? Okay. I was thinking maybe somebody will say, no, I don't have a head. So since you all have a head, that's all you need. That's all you need. Everybody needs just 1 head to succeed, and you already have 1, and that's all you need. So the only difference is how you use the head. Are you with me? The only difference is how you use what? The head. If you use it the way those who are passing are using it, you too will pass. The way those who are succeeding, if you use it the way they use it, you too will succeed. So you must use the... I know that people use it as, when people say things like that, I know that they are trying to abuse other people. But you see, it's not really an abuse. It's a charge. Say to your neighbor, use your head. Use your head. I know that around there, they mostly say to abuse people, but listen, it's a charge for you to use it the way it should be used. Open your mind to only things that will help you succeed. Read books. Focus on educational content online. For those of you who already have access. Brilliant question. How can you want to be a pilot, but your parents cannot afford it? A simple thing to do is make sure you are exceptionally brilliant. If your parents cannot afford it, the society will pay for your brilliance. What do I mean? I've seen people get scholarships. There are so many scholarships available from state governments to federal government to individuals to non-profit organizations. Just make sure you study hard. Spend more time. See, while others are playing, you spend more time reading. When you spend more time reading and you eventually pass in flying colors, after your maybe secondary education, just look for somebody else who is elderly, has a smartphone or something. Even your parents can guide you even if they don't have the money, and say start looking for scholarships. There are schools abroad that offer scholarship to even undergraduates. So don't worry about the money first, but the part that you can take care of is studying to make sure that you succeed in flying colors. Once you take care of that part of studying to succeed in flying colors, scholarship is easier. And I can tell you emphatically, there are so many scholarships even within and outside Nigeria. And you can even get scholarships outside Nigeria, and it's full scholarship that I'm talking about. Everything will be paid for. So you focus on succeeding academically. Once you focus on succeeding academically, by God's grace, the rest is easier. All right. Thank you. Any other question? None. Okay. Thank you very much. It's been a pleasure. I hope you've had a good time. Are you sure? Will you remember the things I've said to you today?
Yes, sir.
And how many of you will make good use of them? You're sure, right?
Yes, sir.
So if I call the school maybe next week and ask how many people have set goals, you'll be able to show that you have set goals, right?
Yes, sir.
Okay, so set goals for your study time, set goals for your personal development, and make sure you commit to it by spending time. That's your most important resource right now. Spend time studying and spend time developing yourself. Thank you, and I pray that you succeed.
Amen.
Thank you.